I would say it probably sped up my process by maybe 2 years. And that there's a huge ROI for me there. There's a huge ROI financially, there's a huge ROI in my quality of life because it allows me to see that I could get somewhere faster. My name is Amberly Thompson and my business name is Hamlin Garden, and I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia, specifically Milton and Alpharetta area. The specialty and focus of my business is certainly installations of kitchen gardens, along with native plants. I started out installing native plants mostly, and then grew to providing vegetables for my clients. Also, I specialize in deer prevention gardens. I live in a very high deer populated area, so I've specialized in how to make that beautiful and work well with the natural scenery. The reason I decided to become a garden consultant is it happened really naturally and organically. My mother's a master gardener, my grandfather's a master gardener, but growing up I didn't really want to have much to do with the garden as a natural teenager would. But then later in life I found a lot of peace and enjoyment, and that kind of removed me from my day-to-day life, as I've been a vice president of sales for a medical technology company and still am, and manage a team across the country. And I needed a way to do something for myself. And I love being outdoors. And what's happened over the last 20 years in the trajectory of my career is what was a job where I was interacting with people and moving and going different places became a completely desk job. So I took my love of just being in my garden and started talking to my neighbors, and they started asking me for help. And then I was Googling intensive planting, which was how my mother taught me to naturally deter pests. And that's when I found Gardenary. And it showed me that it wasn't an odd thing to love to talk about plants, and that was a huge value to other people. And so that's kind of how my journey started. I think of a kitchen garden as kind of like when people purchase a pet, right? They know it's something that they love, but it's something that motivates them to take care of it. And then they end up taking care of something really just intrinsically makes you feel part of it. I never thought of myself as having a difficult time being able to concentrate. But as my career turned much more into a desk job, I feel very much like I have ADD. I never have ADD in the garden. I go to the garden, if I have a problem, I can fix it in an hour of working in my garden because it allows my brain to function when my hands are doing something. My biggest win probably is not in the way that you would think about a biggest win. It's not the biggest install, the biggest job. And this just happened probably 4 months ago. I had someone that had zero interest in gardening and was a friend of mine, and was around me in my garden so much, but just almost in a playful way would joke about how that is just so not her. And now we are going to install a small kitchen garden at her home, and I'm doing it as her Christmas gift because she's been my lifelong friend. But the fact that she now has opened herself to like embracing this potential world, that's huge, because I think it showed through my love and passion of doing it versus me trying to convince her to do something, right? So maybe it was somebody absorbed something through my actions or my passion or how I live my life. What the Gardenary certification did for me was it gave me a framework around something that was an art for me. Gardening is very much a feel and an art, and it puts some definition around it, and it sped up my time of feeling confident to offer my knowledge, because because it gave me kind of those guardrails, right? It took all the things that I know and love and hear and expressed them in a very succinct way. And then it also gave me affirmations. Yes, you know, what you just naturally think that you're doing right is working for other people. It also has provided a community of other like-minded people that, and I think everyone needs a community, you know? I think that's a big part of it as well. And being able to ask all kinds of questions and meet people that are in various parts of their journey, that's been extremely helpful, starting out to 6 years in. So I would say it probably sped up my process by maybe 2 years. And that there's a huge ROI for me there. There's a huge ROI financially, there's a huge ROI in my quality of life, because it allows me to see that I could get somewhere faster. I think the reason that I would be an excellent choice for a garden consultant is because I do understand the balance between the art of a garden and the functionality of life, right? It's got to work between both. I understand that we have to make all of this work in the reality of our day-to-day, right? But then we have to take someone's hand and walk them through this journey, right? And that starts from the beginning and painting a picture. I like to tell my clients when I first meet them that we have a blank canvas and I'm gonna draw the lines and I want them to fill in with the color because I want it to be a collaborative effort, and I'm not going to leave them. And whether or not Hamlin Garden stays with them through the life of their garden, I think that Hamlin Garden will have a mark on them as starting their journey or transforming their journey or changing their journey with gardening. And so I think it's well beyond just an installation of a garden. It's a lifestyle transition. You can find me on social at Instagram at hamlin.garden. You can also find me online at hamlingarden.com.